Hey guys, Ronin here. Welcome on back to the Retrocade. Happy Monday. Happy International Women's Day, as I'm seeing splattered across social media. Hope you're having a good start to your week wherever you may be in the wide world. If you are new to the channel, please leave a like, subscribe, and ring the bell for the latest content. Also, don't miss out on our Sports Saturday and Sucker Punch Sunday features. This last weekend, we played Double Dribble for our Sports Saturday to commemorate the NBA All-Star Game weekend. And then we tried out the PS1 Classic Original Soul Blade, or Soul Edge, or Soul Calibur. At this point, it's got more names than somebody in the Witness Protection Program. But we gave that one a whirl. I'm more happy that we got our first win on Sports Saturday, to be honest with you. And it came a little bit easier than I anticipated. But I'll take it all the same. So check those out as well. Follow the channel on Twitter at @RetroCade. If there's a game that you'd like to see us feature here at the Retrocade, also leave it in the comments below or drop me a tweet. Your options are from the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th generations of the golden age of video games from about 1984 to about 2010. And it's the Nintendo Entertainment System, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Sega Master System, Neo-Geo, Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. So I do apologize up front. One slight editorial note. This is getting up a little bit later than I had anticipated today for a couple of reasons. One is that because all of a sudden we have shifted from late stage winter weather to early springtime weather. Where I am in the Great Lakes region, it is lovely and warm outside, but I woke up this morning and my long dormant allergies decided they were going to make their presence known with authority. So this is about the first time all day that I have been able to go more than 2-3 minutes without sneezing my head off. And I do hope I don't carry that on, knocking on wood, over the course of the next 25 minutes or so. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Also, I had a slight faux pas over the weekend, because in order to get ready for this episode, like I said on Friday, we had left in a different part of the map from where we are now. We are back in Jadur. And what we did on Friday was we backtracked all the way to the eastern side of the southern continent, back to the Veldt, because we needed to level up Gao's rage skills. As you recall, Gao has the ability to mimic what the opponents we face can do as far as special abilities, but the issue was that we hadn't really been able to put a lot of them together, and the only place he can stock up on new ones is back in the Veldt, which is a counterintuitive way, I should say, as the antihistamines that I'm on are finally kicking in, I think. And that's the only place you can be on the map to get his enemy skills updated. So I ended up doing that, but rather than start from there and backtrack again all the way here to Jadur, I just went ahead and farmed a little bit over the weekend. I didn't do anything else major, so that's where we are at right now, and now we are in a position where we can still come south and go to the Opera House and carry on with the quest that involves Celis and the events that transpire there. I did also do a little bit of research and found out that there are only so many times you can go through that part of the quest and mess up. If you notice in a previous episode, we got down there and I wasn't able to pull off what we needed to do in time, and we ended up getting bounced out of the Opera House and had to start all over again. According to the research I did, I found out you only get 4 cracks at it before you get a game over. So what I'm hoping this time around, as we make our way back down here, is that we'll be able to get through it the first time and not have to worry about it too much. Now, everybody's been leveled up a little bit more, and because we also have the Espers equipped on everybody, they're building up a little bit more magic ability to boot. So, I mean, everybody's not too ridiculously strong. I mean, Celis is still at 16, the other 3 are at 18. And because they've got that little bit more oomph behind them, I'm hoping that'll make this next part of the story a little bit easier. But we still have Locke able to mug everybody. And as you can see, there's a lot more available to Gao than there was when we started on Friday, which I'm happy about. The research that I had found said there wasn't quite as many. Ooh, I didn't realize you could just cast instant death like that. I'll take it. I'm not going to argue. But yeah, I was told when I did my original run-through to get down back to the Veld that there'd be a lot more skills that he'd be able to acquire. He didn't pull them all in yet. And I suppose if I really wanted to, I could have spent another 20 hours or so playing just there and building up the characters. But I didn't want to make them too beefy because I still want this to be a challenge for the rest of the game. So that's where we're at. And again, when we came through this the last time, we only also had two characters. We only had Celis and we had Locke. We didn't have Edgar and we didn't have Gao. And to revisit the plot we have here, we have Setzer, the airship captain, who's supposed to be coming in to collect the Opera House's prize actress, Maria, who's not available. And because Celis apparently looks enough like Maria, she'll fit the bill. But we still have to go through this and get it all put away and get it moving. And obviously Celis is nigh thrilled about that. I still love the fact she just runs straight into the door. And Locke, of course, finds this whole thing hilarious. And then there is Orthrus, who we faced before when we were first busting out of the Returner headquarters when the Empire invaded, if you remember. And he'll leave that letter there, and when we go pick it up, we're going to have to fight him. But we don't bite on it right now. And then we have this long, protracted cutscene, which gives me an opportunity to go back and answer a new question that was posed to me over the weekend. And again, if you have questions or things that you would like me to bring up during these walkthroughs, by all means, drop me a comment along with games you'd like to see us play. And this one is, Ronin, what do you think is your favorite franchise of all time? And it's a good question, but again, it is one of those that is... It's really easy to have recency bias. And because I've played so many different systems and so many different games across so many different generations, you kind of have to narrow it down a little bit. You know, like most kids my age, I grew up on Donkey Kong and Super Mario Brothers and the original Legend of Zelda franchise, and I played the original Metroid. I was an early teenager when John Madden Football came out. So there's a lot of stuff that I remember playing that I really liked. But I think pound for pound, my favorite franchise of all time is still the Metal Gear franchise. And that includes both Metal Gear that came out for the original Nintendo, Metal Gear 2, which did not come out in the United States, but came out for the MSX, which is a system that nobody in the US really saw, and then obviously Metal Gear Solid and its subsequent sequels for the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, 3, and 4. I will admit that having played Metal Gear Solid 5 for a while when it came out. I played through Ground Zeroes, and I've been playing the Phantom Pain. I understand the appeal of it, but I find that game to be an anticlimactic one that I'm not as big a fan of. I much prefer, actually, of all of them, I still think Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater is my favorite. But for as different and as new as Metal Gear Solid 5 was, that it is clearly an unfinished game, does bother me. And I know it bothers a lot of people who grew up liking the franchise as much as I do, and you have the whole messy divorce between Kojima and Konami. Excuse me as I wipe my nose here. But I think from top to bottom, that is still my favorite full franchise of all time. And if you, I'd be interested to know what yours is. You know, like I said, when a series like John Madden Football first broke out on Genesis and Super NES and then moved to the PlayStation, I really enjoyed it. And I had to, kind of by proxy, again, because I had siblings who were really big sports junkies, and that's why they played games, was to be able to play games like Madden. And I've gone back and played some of them, and I do like them. But I also freely admit that I am not a fan of the later versions of it, by a long way. In fact, I made the decision a couple years ago that I was not going to buy any new Madden titles until Electronic Arts decided that they were going to change their approach to it and expand what the franchise mode was and make it what it used to be. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as far as those go. I also am a big fan of the Gran Turismo series because I've been a race car fan for a long time and I've been an auto racing fan for a long time. But I also only recently got a steering wheel in the last calendar year. So the majority of those games I've been playing with a controller, and I now understand how that's not the best approach to have. So, that said, we now need to go and carry on with this. And we only have 2 seconds between each verse. So not only do we have to pick the right one, but we've got to do it, and we've got to do it quick. So we got the first one right. And then we get the synthesized music for this track. I can't help but think if we had an 8-bit version of it, or a 32-bit version of it, rather, I should say, that they would have actually put this entire song in. We would have had the lyrics, we would have had somebody singing it, which I would have been interested in. I mean, again, this speaks to the limitations that were available at the time of the 16-bit era. Ooh, and I mucked it up. Shoot. I thought I had it right. So we're having to do it one more time. But at least now we know which one to get. I can see how this part particularly would be annoying to the average player. If you haven't played a lot of role-playing games and JRPGs, that you have to go back and make sure you get all this stuff right. I can totally see how this is one of those things you really don't want to have to go back and play through again. Because if you're not right on top of it, then again, you only get 3 or 4 shots at it. And compared to some other games where you're dealing with other issues, like you got bad mechanics, or the controls are wonky, or you're trying to do a particular thing, and graphically the limitations are such that it makes it nigh on impossible to do. You know, there's a reason why kids of my generation, one of the first really big gaming skills we learned was how to destroy controllers. And I'm not saying that as a matter of being a good thing by any stretch. You think controllers nowadays are expensive, and they are. But then you also have to take into account, back in the day, getting a new Nintendo controller potentially every couple of weeks, couple of months, because somebody got pissed off and decided they were just going to destroy it. At least the TVs we had back in the day were a little bit more robust. You know, you didn't want to shatter a glass tube in a TV. Not at all, but for now I understand we need to be able to move. Okay, so we need to follow him around. Okay, follow him around like that. Okay. Oh. So we need to move the... We need to go somewhere else. So what do we need to do here? Throw the flowers off the cliff. Northeast, north, and then west. Ah. So not only do you have to get the vocals right, but you gotta get the choreography right. Wow. Which means we have to do this all over a third time. And if we miss this one up, looks like we would have one more chance after that. Now I'm hoping this is only just the script directions. Okay. No. I'm wondering if we have to do the full thing again. Come on. Out the door with you. Yeah, we do. Wow. Okay. So then throw the flowers off the cliff as the chancellor comes to sell us, telling her to forget about the past. Note, if you don't move around fast enough, or get the lines wrong, you'll fail the acting and be escorted outside. So we pick them up and move north, east, north, and then finally west. So we go north, right, north, left, which is weird. At least this I know how to get right. I think what I'll do is if we don't get this one right, and we end up getting a game over, then I'm going to do this next bit on my own. Make sure I get it right. And get through it, and then we'll pick up in the next episode immediately after this, because I don't want to have to subject you guys to going back through this however many times it's going to take me to get it right. So now Draku will come out. And we go over to him. Gotta be careful here. Okay. Pick him up. North, east, north, west. Yeah, it said go north and east and north and finally west to throw them off the stage. So it looks like we get one more crack at this. And if we don't, then it's game over. Okay, so. Well, hang on just a quick second here. Because I want to see if there is another way that we can figure this out. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, there's very little I'm seeing at all in how to get through this in this walkthrough. Okay, so let me try a different one. Walk to the end of the conspicuously shaped balcony. Don't dilly-dally. Wasting too much time will cause a failure. you did everything correctly, you'll now be in control of lock, and click here to... Okay. Except it's only partially done, so there's no point checking it. And if there's one thing that irritates me about having all the different walkthroughs, which is one of the reasons why I always liked having a standardized player's guide for games like this. And I know I'm dating myself a little bit here, but I'm old and I don't care. But you were able to have a consistent layout of how things worked. And for games that are this complex and this structured, you need that. And I remember that going all the way back and playing the original Final Fantasy. So it looks like I just need to get to the end of the balcony. Over here on the far left, I think by that tower. By the door. And if not, then I don't have the first idea where we need to end up going. But such is what happens when you're doing a first-time playthrough. It's these sorts of things that you find out as you're playing that will ultimately determine if it's a game you're going to enjoy or not. You know, that's one of the many reasons why I wanted to play Final Fantasy VI for this first playthrough, was I wanted to experience this, and also as a way to start building content on the channel. And I can't believe that by the time I get done with the episodes for today, that I'm already going to have 20 episodes for this particular playthrough in the books. Now this is going to be a busy week for me anyway, because I have a new project that I'm working on along with what I'm doing here on the Retrocade. That I'm really excited about, and I don't want to spoil anything yet. Okay, so now... Yeah, it did it again, and that's 4, so that is game over. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to end it here and pick up where we left off in the next episode. So I wish it had gone better, but again, is what you find out for the first time you do a run-through. So, in the meantime, if you like the channel and you like the content so far, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell to be notified of the latest content. And if there's a game you'd like to see featured here on the Retrocade, leave me a comment below, or you can do so on our Twitter feed at @RRetrocade. And your options, as always, are from the Nintendo Entertainment System, Super Nintendo, Sega Master System, Sega Genesis, Neo-Geo, Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1, and PlayStation 2. Don't miss out on our Sports Saturday and Sucker Punch Sunday features, where we play sports and fighting or fighting platform-based games from across the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th generation. In the meantime, I'm Ronin. It's been a great start to the Monday, and I will talk to you in the next episode. Bye.